Its energy surrounds us and binds us.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Carbonite Convos. We are here fresh from the great pit of Carcoon. We have Kris from the Sarlacc Digest. Kris, how you doing today, man?
Hey, I'm doing great. How you guys doing?
We are doing good. We're
Right
excited
on.
to talk. Yes, sir. We're excited to talk Star Wars, anything, just talk collections. Alec, how's the collection looking lately? I know you've had a lot going on with you.
Yeah, nothing too major. Added some to my Venomized collection. I got a picture coming to my Instagram here in the next day or so. Besides that, I mean, there's a ton announced that my wallet's getting ready to bite at. But
Yes, sir.
Besides that, man, like nothing crazy.
Yes, sir. So, Kris, we've looked over the collection, some of the stuff that you've posted. Now, we know you're a big Funko guy and also Black Series. You want to talk about, your collection for a little bit? Just any, general thoughts before we get into it?
Yeah, I used to collect everything, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how I ever got married. Because when I met my wife, she came in and it was wall to wall in my room. I had top to bottom all pinned up, every card on everything, right?
Yeah.
As I got older, I needed bills paid. I was buying a house. I got rid of that whole collection. So I said I wasn't going to do it anymore because it gets crazy, right?
Yeah.
But eventually, I got a Funko Pop. I think it was Vader, right? And I said, you know what? I'm an Imperial guy. I said, I'll get all the Imperials. That's it. Then it became, hey, I'm going to get everybody with a lightsaber. Let's get the Jedi, the Sith, whoever the hell. Yeah. Then it turned into the droids, and before you know it, then it turns into madness like this. Let's see if I can get it up. Then I go out of the box, and I've got over 300 out of the box Star Wars Pops when I was going to get maybe 10. So it just
really
snowball, man. I love these little bobble-headed freaks.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, yeah. That's how it goes. I know for me, long story short, I started because I'd known about Pops for a while. I was going to, I liked Rick and Morty a lot at the time, so I was like, I'll just stick to Rick and Morty. And then Black Panther Pops came out. There you go. Yep. Black Panther came out, and I saw the Killmonger Pop in Target one day, so I was like,
everything you talk about, we're just going to pop them all out.
There we go. You're ready. So I was going to go just Marvel, and I like Star Wars. Star Wars is my number one. And I was like, I'll get one hero each from Marvel. I'm not going to do any Star Wars because if I do that, I won't be able to, I'll just want them all. And then I went to this little thrift store, and they had them for $5, and I was like, damn, I can't pass these up. So that was, from there, the rest is history. I collect Star Wars now, but like you said, I kind of, over the past year or so have really condensed it just to focus on a few individual lines. And I know Alec has done the same. He's a big Spider-Man guy over there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can tell.
Yes, sir.
That's pretty awesome.
Definitely. Oh yeah, definitely. So so you said, you're getting married and stuff, and that kind of made you want to sell the collection. Was when you had that old collection, was there anything, you didn't keep anything from the entire thing?
I sold it all. Wow.
All.
Yeah, I did it. I think it was a vehicle lot and a figure lot and all that. And I'm talking, there were original figures, and then the old orange and green cards that came out back in the mid-'90s, all of those, everything through Attack of the Clones. I think I stopped collecting the 3 3/4 at Attack of the Clones because it just got ridiculous. It was to the point where I don't need a pose. Every different color variation of Luke from Empire. There's only so many outfits you can wear.
Yeah, exactly.
Ways you can make it look. And it still goes on, dude. Even with the Black Series now, I'm like, I don't need 3 of that. Or even with the Pops. There's only so many I need, I thought. I said, I'm not going to get every character 4 times, and I end up getting every character 4 or 5 times.
I said the same. I said I want one of each character. Originally I want one person with a lightsaber. I want one Spider-Man. I want one of each Avenger, and it snowballs,
and it's unstoppable because they're cheap, dude. They're for the most part, you can get a new one if you get lucky for $10 or $12, right? If you have to pay extra, I think I might have paid $30 for a Tarkin and maybe 40 for something else. I only paid 20 for my Amidala. I see you have the Queen Amidala back there.
Yeah, I actually. That's pretty. It's a pretty fresh one too. How'd you swing $20?
Somebody on Mercari or one of the resale sites was selling a lot of open box. I'm an open box, so I don't care about the box.
Yeah,
right.
And I see this lot, and Amidala is laying in the middle of it, and I'm all. The whole lot was like $30. I should have just bought the whole lot as not to bring attention to it. I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, how much, for the Amidala? And she's like, $20 shipped. I'm like,
Oh
cool.
my gosh.
Done.
I'm sure collecting out of box like really saves you a lot of money. 100%.
It could, but I don't get a whole lot resale out of box because nobody sells the grails aren't really out of the box that much. I got really lucky with her.
No,
most
that's
of the time,
awesome.
But I get a good one in. If I get a good one in, like the only one I missed was the concept fet, right? But any of the concepts that came in, you rip them right open, show everybody there it is. Any of the rare stuff, I don't care if it's rare. It could be $60 right now or $100 right now. I'll still open it. I like them out. Toy Story changed my life, dude. I don't like them all in boxes. I feel bad.
That's really cool.
I was going to ask, what was your reason for deciding to go completely out of box?
Partially, it's space. Other part is I don't know how much space it would take up 300 pops behind me, right? Like in this office. I contain everything in my office now. So if I had that, it would be wall to wall. I tried to keep the boxes for a while because pop's kind of the only thing you can do that with, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I had a collection in my garage, and it probably only got up to maybe 100 boxes in the garage. And I'm like, screw all this. I smashed them all down, threw them all out, even the grails. I was like, forget it. I'm never going to resell them like new because that'll be a ripoff anyway. I'd be hosing something.
Yeah.
So I'll just lay it out of box. I'm not planning on selling them.
No, that's pretty crazy. And
never.
as you can see by our collection, I know I have a lot right here in box, but I know as you can see in Alec's background, and for everybody listening on like Apple and Spotify, me and Alec and I and Chris too, we sit in front of our collection so we can kind of see the majority behind us. But it doesn't matter to us if it's in box or out of box. Personally, for me, like I like, especially if it's an exclusive. I'd rather take the box than not, but I would 100% like to pay less money for out of box than pay like $60 for an in-box pop when I can get it out of box for like $20. You know what I mean?
Yep.
No doubt. It makes it not so flat. If it's just like walls of boxes, it just you can't see it. You can't see the mold, and it reflects off the light. It makes it dark, especially if there's no background in it.
Looks very wallpaper-like.
Right.
And then depending on how you display it, right? How you display it, like half of yours are sideways and half of them are showing the mold, right?
Right.
It's like a lot of people collect them and they just put the picture out. I'm like, well, what's the point of having the pop? I could print a bunch of pictures.
Right.
I want to see the story.
That's funny because that is exactly what I said. Like, especially because people, they can decide to display their collections however they want. But at that point, when you're turning them all to the side, you might as well print a giant sheet of paper of wallpaper and just put it up. Then you have every pop you could ever want. But I really don't understand that. Like, you should be able to see the pop at the very least for collections. But before we get too far into the collection topic, I'd love to just hear about your channel, like in general, like how it came about. I know you have a decent amount of people on it too, so we'd love to hear about the digest in general.
Right on. Well, the Sarlacc Digest is 6 of us. Okay.
Yeah.
And what it started was we've been doing it just over 3.5 years now. I want to say we met at The Force Awakens, half of us. Marco, who's the main host, who's like the producer. Marco and I have been friends since high school, and Scott and I have been friends since high school. But the 3 of us weren't connected Star Wars wise until recently. Force Awakens, Marco and I always go to the movies. We always go to every Marvel, DC, everything early. We used to do the midnight shows, everything. All the prequels we went to, the re-releases, everything. He and I have been Star Wars buddies forever. So we're at The Force Awakens, and I was running a baseball organization. So I had groups of kids, and they used to go with me everywhere. So we get there early, like 24 hours early. We get lined up. I have chairs and canopies, but this is during school year, so these kids are in school. I have 95 people coming with me. So these other cats come over, right? We get Ernie and Mike and Joey show up. And I'm like, hey, guys, just so you know, we're saving some spots. About 95 kids are coming up with me. And they're like, yeah, right. I'm all, no, dude, see all this line right here? That's it. They're okay. Well, all of a sudden, 95 kids show up, and they're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
So the next year, they beat us out to Rogue One so they can get in front of us in line to the same theater. But at that point, we're talking now, and then we started podcasting after that. So it was kind of cool.
Crazy.
It's always that we're going to get here and beat you in line at 3 a.m. or whatever it was that day. And just for that, we started chatting in line, and that's why we call it line talk. Everything is like, thanks for jumping in line with us, because everything we met most of us in line, talking line for 12, 13, 14 hours. That's what we love. Even with assigned seating now, we still go to the theaters and we still stand in line, even though we know our tickets. We're still in line for 12 hours at least, just to have that experience out there talking.
That's awesome.
Matter of fact, they have us at our local theater we do an event there. We have music going, Ernie DJs it. We have giveaways, prizes, everything out there. People are up for trivia. It's pretty neat. We've had a blast. So
Yeah, that's really cool, and that's a very unique story too, because me and Alec have known each other since we were about like 12 years old,
12.
and 12ish, and we're 24. Yeah, you're 24, right?
Yeah.
So we're both 24 now, and
Are we
so
friends?
are we? This has been
Sometimes.
sometimes. Oh, he gets to me. It's been a nugget of an idea for a while now, but I've never heard that type of story, like where you meet in line at the premiere of the movie. So that definitely is really cool.
That's a nice little not catchphrase, but like tagline. Hey, thanks for hopping in line with us. I like that a lot.
yeah, people that have been there since episode 1 understand what was going on. We're on like episode 87 or 88 of the main show. We have side shows too. We do side things. Like I do Hot Topic as my side show.
Right.
Yeah.
Do a solo show, but it's neat. You know, I mean, if you go back there, it's always been about the line because that's where we met and that's what we've always kept. You know, we
That's
theory
really
craft
cool.
and we line talk, and that's all we do.
That's really neat. Now,
I
does
have
everybody
go ahead. Oh, you.
really go ahead.
I was gonna say about Hoth Topic. I was checking it out and saw you had an interesting take on the best Jedi.
Yeah,
I thought that was interesting.
Ahsoka now is more Jedi than any other Jedi ever, right? And I didn't used to like Ahsoka. If you watch the show, you know I didn't used to like her. Just saying Sky Guy and all this crap with the movie. I was done. I'm like, who's this kid? But as you go and progress, she is probably the most fleshed out character, the one that doesn't stray. She had her chances to stray, right? And she never does. And then at the end, that season 7 of Clone Wars, when she doesn't take the clones out, it gives me chills right now, right?
I know, same.
That
I got goosebumps.
entire bit put her on top for everybody. You know, Obi-Wan had always kind of been my guy. Kanan had done really well in Rebels, but Ahsoka through Clone Wars and Rebels, and I think what we're going to see hopefully in Mandalorian and her show, they could screw it up. Don't get me wrong. They could screw up where I rank her. But after season 7 of Clone Wars, it was all Ahsoka. And that, yeah, it probably shocked some people from my opinion to change that much.
No, I can't imagine they'll ruin her. I'm with what they've done with her recently, they're definitely gonna keep that thing going.
Yeah, they have to. They should. It got me hooked. And if you're getting a 43-year-old dude, old school original trilogy guy, into this character, right? That from a cartoon, a teenage girl character growing up, and you get a guy like me and our whole crew. You see our whole crew, our demographic. We're a bunch of older dudes. You get us hooked into it, you won. Stick with that course. Stay on that road.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think the fandom is seems like it's so split these days. What with original trilogy, prequel, sequel. But I think for the most part, obviously, people can kind of find that common ground with the Clone Wars, because you might not love it, but I haven't really heard of a lot of people that absolutely hate the Clone Wars. No. But for me too, me and Alec grew up on the prequel trilogy. Obviously with that comes we fell in love with the original trilogy as well. But we grew up, I was born in 96, so Phantom Menace came out in 99. I was 3 years old, couldn't appreciate it. But I remember going to the theater to see Attack of the Clones and then Revenge of the Sith. And when you're that young, obviously, like for me at least, my dad was the biggest influence for Star Wars. So he loved the original trilogy. And I think it's just cool that we can all find some common ground in these animated shows, specifically the Clone Wars.
Yeah, I think the only people that don't like it are the ones that don't watch it, right? Like
exactly.
We're on a network, the Raw Live Unlimited Unedited network. Their shows, like the head of the network, Rich, he doesn't dig on animation at all. And I try and tell him all the time, animation, this is just, you're getting on the actors like they're not real actors. Hell no, these voice actors are real, emotional. They can bring this in without having to see them. I think they're fantastic, right? Definitely. And the animation on them, the storytelling, Filoni just kills it. Filoni,
no doubt.
He's Lucas Jr. Yeah.
It grinds my gears that people turn it off automatically because it's animated. People who watch this know that my favorite movie is Into the Spider-Verse. Okay. And I'll tell people that haven't seen it, like, hey, this is fantastic. And they're like, oh, is that cartoon? And I'm like, I mean, yes, but it's so much more than that. And that's the same thing with Clone Wars. It's the same thing. It
should be how it makes you feel, what you see, the lore it adds to it. I don't get people that don't dig on animation for any reason. There's a lot of talent that goes on in making these. I don't get it. But in some of the best storytelling, because you can do a lot of things you can't do live action. We can do a lot, but it doesn't look right. Just example, Leia and her floating in space, right? In animation, that flies. That flies in animation. It's hard to make it fly in live action. That's all.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have been a problem. The Mortis arc, the whole thing on Mortis, if you tried to put that in live action, it would be a tough take for a lot of people. You know,
Definitely.
And
And Mortis,
cool stuff.
yeah, and Mortis is like, you know, I'm trying to figure out how to put this. Like, I think for a lot of people, that is one of the main favorite Clone Wars arcs, main arcs of Clone Wars that people love. You know, it gives so much intensity and so much more backstory to Anakin as a whole. And then you bring that to Rebels, it just adds so much more depth to Star Wars as a whole. And those are things that people miss. If you're not a fan of animation, like those are things that you will miss. Like you miss the Veil of the Force. You miss so much more depth to these stories if you just don't give it a chance. But kind of going off.
And there's always this attitude where I was saying there's always this attitude of I shouldn't have to watch, not you, I'm just saying in general, right? I shouldn't have to watch a cartoon to understand this. I shouldn't have to read a book or see a comic to understand this. And it's not. It's just expanding everything, right?
Exactly.
I can understand all the movies just fine, but these books and the animation and everything else adds so much to the lore, so much to this universe. I know so much more about Star Wars history than I do about U.S. history. You know, it's just one of those things where I love it, man. I love all that stuff.
Same.
You see all that stuff behind me. I mean, I study all the books. I love all that stuff. That's why most of our guests are either authors or we had Mark Thompson on. You know, we have actually we have Daniel Jose Older coming on this week.
That's really
Wednesday.
Cool. That's so really cool.
It's because we like that lore, that additional stuff, you know.
Exactly. So kind of going off of this whole animation vibe we got going, we've also seen that your favorite character is Thrawn, correct?
Oh, yeah, I love Thrawn.
Do you have the Funko Pop for him, just out of curiosity?
Yeah, he's dead center. Actually, if I put that thing back up, he's probably dead center.
That's dope. I
would imagine.
He's
always going to be. Well, he's right there.
Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I managed to find Thrawn at this little not even an antique store back in my hometown in Bradenton. It's not even an antique. It's just like kind of like a. What would you describe it as? Just kind of like a.
It's like a flea market.
It's
like a one-person flea market.
Okay.
Flea market, and I had gone there a couple times growing up,
sweet.
And I'd never, I'd gone. They had nothing that stuck out to me, and then last year I remember going in. I was like, maybe they'll just someone brought in a Funko Pop, and I maybe it's just happens to be the one I want. And I walk into the back, and there was just 10 feet, like it was hundreds and maybe even thousands of Funko Pops. Wow. And they get more. And I remember it's weird. They have a weird theory for selling. It's like, if it doesn't have a sticker, it's $10. If it does have a sticker, it's $15. And then from here and there, like on top of that, they'll have some specially priced ones. But for the most part, it's unbelievable, their pricing. But I remember seeing Thrawn, and it was $25. And I look up on, trending eBay, all this stuff, and it was trending at like $75, $80 at that time. And I was like, I gotta snatch this up right now. It was, I don't want to say mint, but it was like damn near mint, and it was a steal. Yeah. So that was a really hype one for me.
I've been lucky. That's about right when I really started collecting hard. So I got him right off the bat. It was the $10. Got him on the pre. It was no problem. It's awesome. It was catching up that cost the money, right? Because I was a couple. 300's a lot, but there were already 150, 180 out when I started. So you had to catch all those suckers out over time.
Yeah.
So in your go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just gonna ask, around what year did you start collecting Pops?
Probably right around Force Awakens.
Okay,
I know I had all of those, so maybe right before.
Okay, yeah.
Right before,
yeah.
I think we were around then as well.
We started about in late 2016, so maybe like a year after. And like 2015, I feel like that's a very good year to get in, because it was before it absolutely blew up, and they were making a Pop for, a Coca-Cola bottle and a Coca-Cola bottle cap. So it's like they make Pops for everything now. But I feel like 2015 would have been a really good time to get in, and we weren't too far behind that.
No, it was the exclusives that are hard to get, right? It's those old exclusives, like Qui-Gon. Like they need to put a Qui-Gon out at all, because I didn't want the Ghost Qui-Gon, and I wanted that exclusive one. Never able to get it. The helmeted Rex is still one of mine that I'm still chasing, trying to find out how to box. One of my kids that I coach baseball in, I see he has his collection behind him too.
Yeah.
And he has one out of box Rex. I'm just waiting one day. I'm like, say, Coach, you need this?
Yes, I do.
Jeez.
I passed up on.
That's nuts.
I passed up on Rex. It was like I could have got him for $40, but it was like a couple months after it came out. It hadn't skyrocketed yet, and I was like, I can't pay $40 for a pop, and now it's like $400, and I regret it all the time. But
I find myself doing that. Like, am I going to pay this much for a pop? And like, I think it was one of the bounty hunters, Bosk. Bosk is I paid.
Oh gosh.
What do you call it?
Rex.
The Rex. Thank you. Jeez. That Rex is up there on my list. That's
drives me nuts.
I have the Rebels one, but
me too.
Not the good one.
Yeah, my short list is missing Jar Jar, Rex, and really those are the key, and a Qui-Gon. Those are really the ones I need. Everything else is cared for.
So in your Star Wars, in just your Star Wars collection, I see you have a little bit more outside of that as well.
Yeah.
But like, do you have a certain like range you try to stay in, or are you just trying to gather as many as possible?
Oh no, I just whatever. Right now, if I'm shopping, there aren't but those three things I even look for. There's nothing out besides there's probably 11 pre-orders we have out right now from all the crap that just came out, and the couple new the 40th anniversaries are still coming, and because those pre-orders are coming. But besides that, there's nothing out in the wild besides those couple grails that I'm looking for. There was no range. Like I said, my range was 10 of them, and then it went nuts. But whatever I see that's cool, if I'm like, oh shit, I didn't have that, and I realize it. Or sometimes it'll be a character where I have 5 of them. I'm like, do I have that version? That drives me nuts. I'll see a Kylo all of a sudden in the wild. I'm like, where's that one from? Do I have that? And I'll come home like, I have it. Never mind.
Yeah.
So
that was actually one of the questions I was going to ask you, whether you had any pre-orders down. So like, are those like Black Series or just pops that you were just talking about?
No, those were all pops right there. I do have a Black Series is where I've been able to stay. Like, remember I said I was only doing a couple things. I've got 20 Black Series. That's it. I like the Imperials.
Okay.
If there's an Imperial officer, I'm getting an Imperial officer, right? So I love the Piet and Thrawn and Tarkin and all those. And I have the bounty hunter, some of the bounty hunters, the Mandalorian bounty hunter, I should say. I have the Fets and Din and that kind of thing. And
that's cool.
Cad Bane's on order. He'll be here probably today or tomorrow.
That is a really cool package. Everything about the Cad Bane, I've seen nothing but good things about it.
I didn't get the exclusive one. I had to go to GameStop and just get the regular release. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know there. See, me and Alec and I, we are not like I love Black Series. I think they look awesome, but we are pretty clueless when it comes to them. So I didn't even know there was a different variation of them or anything.
I only do those for like as statues, right? For decoration in the office and things like that. A lot of the guys we hang with are big toy collectors or toy photography and stuff, and it's all about Black Series and SH Figure Arts and things like that. Like Ernie has his Toy Migo show, they're not dolls, and they go through every kind of figure you can imagine, but it's not really my thing either. I don't want to get into it anymore like I did before. Like I said, I have every figure and every variation. I stick mainly with the pops, but
that's cool.
The Black Series they're rad. I love them, and I do wish I could get into them, but at $20 to $25 a pop, and again, backed up 100 and 200 of them, I'm not going to play that game.
No, exactly. I want to go back really quick. You mentioned when you were talking about the pre-orders that there were some 40th anniversary. What you were talking about pops there for pre-orders?
Yeah, there's the Leia that's going to come out with the in front of the radar.
Okay, gotcha.
You have the probe droid is still coming, and Vader with the snowtrooper.
Yeah,
so we have one in 2 weeks, one in November, one in December, and then what else is on? What did we just ordered a bunch of them.
I know there were the Clone Wars ones.
Clone Wars. The Bad Batch and the 2 Ahsokas and all that.
Yep.
That's all in there. Gosh, I feel like there's something else I'm missing. But and sometimes I get a notification. I have something coming right now from DHL from Kentucky. I don't even know what the hell I ordered.
Yeah.
I have no clue what it is. I don't do that a lot. I think I said I ordered it in May. So there's something I'm missing that I'm getting that I have no clue what it is.
That's funny.
Yeah, so like a little surprise.
Definitely. I don't do a lot of pre-orders myself, especially since like COVID hit. My my philosophy on collecting has kind of changed because I couldn't before COVID hit. I couldn't even remember if I ever bought a pop online. And these last Clone Wars wave that just came out, but just went on pre-order. That's the first time I've ever I went into GameStop. I said, hey man, I want to pre-order these. I think what was it, 6 or 7? Yeah, there were 6 that I could pre-order. Yeah. and I've never done that, but seeing how the last Clone Wars line just sold out, me and Alec managed to get them, but I did not want to take a risk with these new ones coming out. I just wanted to pre-order them, get them out of the way now.
That's what it's about for me now. Every time I see a pre-order, I do it because at some point one of these is going to be a grail, and I'm going to hose up and not get it. Like the concept Fett, I blew it. I had it. I jumped sites real fast to look at the other ones because I was like, if I'm going to get them all, I'm going to get them all. And I was jumping around, came back to the concept Fett, and it was gone. And I'm like, oh no. So I got all the ones from the concept series except for that one. So I guess add that to the fourth on my list I need to get. But you got to get them because then all of a sudden it's $200.
Exactly.
I didn't pull the trigger. So I pulled the trigger on all of them, so I'm not missing out.
No,
it's a horrible sickness. Horrible. You don't
Isn't it?
No, I know. It's funny that you mentioned the concept Boba because Alec and I, we both have concept Luke and Vader. But, I'm going to knock on wood that it goes through. But I actually have long story short, I bought a big pop lot of non-Star Wars ones. There were a few Marvel that I wanted, but this guy was just trying to get rid of his collection, and he was selling it for dirt cheap. So I had everything from Stranger Things, Harry Potter, everything. And I have a box of Stranger Things left over. And I saw a guy on Facebook. He had the 10-inch Stormtrooper that I never snagged. And then he had the concept Boba and a couple more that I can't remember. But he said, these are what I have for trade. I'm looking for Stranger Things. So I sent him my Stranger Things list. And he was like, oh, hell yeah, there's a lot that I want. I told him the ones I wanted. He was like, just send me a message Sunday. I'm going out of town Sunday. We'll meet up, try to figure out, if we can make a deal. So I'm hoping that because these Stranger Things, I've made my money back on the lot. So if I could just unload these 30 or so Stranger Things pops that I have and get a couple Star Wars ones in return, I'm just hoping that comes through.
That would be a great deal. I'd do that in a heartbeat.
Yep. And then I just got to find that Chewie one. Didn't
I got the Chewie. I got that. I got that one. I think I bought it resale. I had to buy it from the next person, right?
Gotcha.
They didn't really scout me. It wasn't bad. It was I think it was 30 shipped. I wasn't bad, but it was on pre-order, so I had to hope. I was like, okay, they don't have it yet. But they got it shipped right to me. I was like, okay, $30 is cool. I can handle that for me being slow. That's my
definitely. Yep. So with your collection, is there, because if you notice with ours, we kind of have our set up in sections. So right here, I kind of have, the prequel trilogy, and then it kind of bleeds into Anakin, Obi-Wan, and then Vader. Do you have a favorite section or a favorite individual pop or collector or anything like that?
Well, I'm going to put it up again real quick. So you can see this side, you can't see. I don't have my green screen behind me, so it's all hosed up.
You're good.
But you see all my rebels here. The top is my Jedi, basically. The middle are the legacy heroes. You got Leia and Han, and then the troops are the X-wing pilots behind them. Then basically your droids and random heroes on the bottom. On this side, you have all your imps and Sith on the top, and then my troops down below, and then the bottom row on both sides is my rides.
Yeah, I see that.
The right side are my bounty hunters, my pirates, my gangsters, all that kind of stuff, and then droids and random aliens on the bottom. So I keep it all like that. But as far as my favorites, it's Thrawn. Thrawn's my favorite character, and Pop. Although Grievous has gone way up. I've always loved the Grievous Pop, and that price on that has gone ridiculous.
Yeah,
a couple of them lately I've noticed are random pops I've had for a long time that all of a sudden are $90, $75, things like that.
Same. It's weird. It's definitely really weird.
Like Thrawn himself. Thrawn had started, I got him for $10. All of a sudden, like you said, he was pushing up at 75. Seen him come down to 15. I'm all, oh, that's how pops work. That sucks, right? And before I know it, he's rolling at 90 again. Again, not that I ever resell him. I do have them all tracked, like in Funko Finder or whatever the hell. Now, a pop price guide. But
it's cool to know.
It's cool to know what you have. And then I sit there going, well, this is what I would have if I kept the boxes. Right?
Yeah.
Just knowing what it is. And nothing is ever going to sell for more than somebody else is going to pay for it, right? So
exactly.
Box, what's it really matter?
That's kind of been my philosophy too. It could say it's worth $100, but it's worth whatever somebody's willing to pay. If nobody wants to buy it over $50, then it's not worth $100.
Yeah, they can put that concept Fed up there at 225 all they want, but if nobody's buying,
exactly. I think for my collection personally, I'm going to kind of step to my Marvel. Agent Daisy Johnson, she's from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I haven't watched the whole thing, so I don't know why they call her Daisy Johnson because her name is Sky in the first couple seasons. But I remember buying her for like $13 at Michael's. And literally, like the other day, I was looking, and on the Funko app, it's like $90. And I went and looked on eBay, and like I couldn't find it for less than like $60. So it might not be that 90 price, but I was like, I bought this thing for $13, and now like apparently it's really rare. So I was pretty excited about that one.
Saying that, I think my first ever pop was the Superman right here. That's the metallic Hot Topic exclusive. I didn't know anything about chases or anything else. I ripped it open, put it on my stand, had my heroes, and then later on I see price guides and I'm like, oh, the metallic Hot Topic whatever is the pricey one. But there he is out of a box. I'm like, oh, I was close.
That's still good to have.
Still cool to have, yeah.
Definitely.
So what else do you have outside of Star Wars?
Just what you see behind me, really. Just a couple DC, a little bit of Marvel. I'm more of a DC than a Marvel guy. My Ghostbusters down there, and then I have a bunch of Office Pops at work.
That's cool. Nice. Do you have the Dark Side Dwight?
Right there.
There we go. I love it.
You've been really good about randomly saying Pops.
I know, right?
Yeah.
See, me and Alec are big Office guys, but with me collecting a lot of Marvel and a lot of Star Wars, I was like, I can't. I had more Office Pops, but I had to sell a couple of them off. I was like, I'm just keeping Andy, Bernard, regular Jim, the Sith Dwight, and then I never got around to getting a Michael. So I'm gonna get that, and I'm just gonna keep those 4 Office Pops and just kind of focus on Star Wars and Marvel.
Yeah. I still need Pretzel Day Stanley. That's the only one I really want that I didn't grab. I have to get that one. But
Good
and then Dwight was chilling with Sidious. I had him up in the Sith section for a while.
Funny.
Until the concept creator came in. I ran out of room. I had to move him out to put him back in. But
that's funny. So, now that we're stepping a little away from just Star Wars, is there any pop line that they don't make that you'd really like to see, whether it be from like a TV show or a movie or anything like that?
I would do some Dexter Pops for sure, especially with it coming back out right now. I would be all into some Dexter stuff.
Cool.
And I got the Rick and Morty. The Office is what I was begging for. I was one of those guys in there for years saying, where are my Office Pops? Where are my Office Pops? So that was really it. Once I got that, I was good to go. You know what I keep complaining about, though, and I keep putting in the Funko site? We have all these Pops for Star Wars. I'll go back to Star Wars. We have no battle droids. Every time
we've said the same
I know.
thing.
Can I get a 3-pack with a B1, a B2, and a Droideka? That's all I want.
Yes.
Just give me one 3-pack, and I'm good to go.
That's awesome. Me and Alec actually have kind of going back to, our channel. We have a new segment coming out because we have Funko Fridays now. We introduced it a couple weeks ago, but we're going to start doing a video on like 10 Pops from each movie or each series that we'd really love to see. So we actually made the Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith one, and one of those was
actually a droid.
Yeah,
Several
for each
droids.
Of those movies we had. I don't know whether it was in Phantom Menace or Attack of the Clones, but we have all 3 of those somewhere on the list because I can't believe that we don't have a battle droid at all.
All of these that they put out and all the droids, the random repaints of droids and everything else, and how many different protocol droids they have in chrome and white, and I can't get some battle droids. And I would think it would be because the bobbling, right? Because maybe it's a problem, but they figure everything else out. If we got Han and Carbonite bobbling, you can get anything.
Yeah.
Seriously, like
my philosophy on it is when you look at a lot of the prequel, just so everybody, we have about 2.5 minutes left, and then I might have to send out a new link. When you look at all the prequel Pops, for the most part, you have like the Qui-Gon, Padme. To lump them all together, they're very expensive. So the only thing that I can imagine that why they haven't come out with a lot more, I think they might be saving it for like maybe an anniversary, because we see the 40th anniversary is coming out now. And I feel like if they came out with a Qui-Gon Pop right now, it would almost devalue the other one, because if I can get a common Qui-Gon for $10, why would I go pay $800 for one? Unless I'm like one of those. Exactly. Unless you're a diehard collector. But I think they have to be like waiting for an anniversary to do it. And that's why I was like, why didn't they do it in 2019? Was that the 20-year anniversary?
20 would have been fine. Yeah, we should
have. So maybe they're waiting until 2024, maybe a 25-year anniversary to come out with these. But they got to be coming out soon.
Should. I keep entering them. Like, you can do it on Funko. Have you ever done that? And gone and asked?
I haven't.
We gone in there and done the battle droids, and we did Gecko from Mandalorian for Dominic Pace.
That's dope.
Nice.
That was it. Trying to get those done.
That's cool, Alex. So we've said a couple things that we we wish were here. What about you? Do you have anything specific?
Are we looking specifically Star Wars?
I mean,
or in general?
Whatever. Yeah, whatever you want.
That's actually tough. I really don't know. Damn.
Didn't mean to put you on the spot.
No, you're good. I'm just kind of looking around and seeing, what all you can look at. I guess
with that Spider-Man news, they're gonna need to get you a Maguire, and
right?
A Holland,
a
whole set, right? A 3-pack of that. That'd be awesome.
100%. I can't believe you didn't say Sam Raimi Spider-Man right off the bat.
Oh. Yeah.
You're kicking yourself right now.
I'm kicking myself hard now. We talk about this all the time. This is why this is. That's why
right?
I literally just blanked so hard.
No.
They're so okay. Oh my goodness.
When that comes out, that's not a bad idea. A 3-pack of Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield, and Tobey Maguire. That'd be too cool.
Don't do it.
I know, right?
Don't give me hope.
That's funny.
Oh my god.
That would be the one. That's like theorycraft or something in a movie, right? You're like, oh, that's going to happen. Then it doesn't. Then you're just crushed.
I know.
Right.
Oh, jeez.
That's why. Oh my gosh.
Up until I think they just announced it like a week ago, I couldn't believe that they didn't have like a Palpatine pop from Rise of Skywalker or a Ben Solo or Rey with two lightsabers, and then they finally announced some more. So I'm really excited for those.
Or getting a Ben Solo, right?
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like now we're getting some of those.
I got you.
You're good.
Yeah, no, I can't wait to get more of those. There's so many they can do, and I should say I can wait because it gets expensive when they do them all at once, right? When you've got 11 or 12 pre-orders in at once and they all hit, they all come out of the bank when the order hits. So right before Christmas, most of these are like December 20th through 24th, and they're all going to slam us at once. So I can wait a minute.
Oh yeah, exactly. And that's
come the new year, bring them out. That's
why I'll see. Because I follow Diz Pops on Instagram and stuff like that, so I get a lot of my news from him or her. I don't know who it is, but they'll put out these big Funko lists, and at one part of me, I'll be like, "Wow, no new Star Wars." Bless you, Alec.
Thanks.
One part of me is like, "Wow, no new Star Wars," and then another part of me is like, "Okay, well, it's not like they're going to stop making Star Wars, so maybe it's good that this time around they introduced 200 pops. There weren't 15 Star Wars ones that are coming out now."
Right.
Yeah.
Even when I get mad when I'm like, oh, I couldn't get that one. I'm like, I can't be too mad. It's okay.
I'd rather do that than just literally just make a million, because that would hurt the wallet real fast.
That's true.
And
did you get lucky on the Luke and Leia training? Did you get that one from Funko Shop?
I didn't. I was a couple minutes late. I was pretty pissed. Like at first I wasn't gonna get him, and then I was like, I have never really gotten anything from the Funko Shop because usually what they put out, I'm not I don't really need that pop. But then when they put those out, I was like, yeah, maybe I'll get them. So when they dropped, I was very unprepared with how intense the Funko drops are on their site. So I just didn't get it. Maybe I can get in the future, but I doubt it with how limited those New York Comic-Con ones are. Yeah,
I got lucky on day 2 because I wasn't I didn't win any raffle. I didn't have anything to go in there for the Comic-Con. The next day they left all the leftovers in there, and I was like, oh wow! And they were there. I was there at 9 a.m. And
really,
I never get lucky with those. They did a good job this time with the bots and stuff. I think there wasn't as many scalpers jumping in.
Yeah,
that's usually the problem. That's how intense they get. It's the scalpers, man. They go in there and they use their bots. They take all your things and they sell them for 5 times the amount. It's it is that with
someone's got to ruin it for everybody, man.
That's what it is.
And that's when I tried, is the day after, because I was doing some podcast work, and I turned my phone over and because I get the notifications from Diz Pops because they're usually spot on. I turned my phone over and I saw the Luke and Leia pops went back up, and I saw it was like 6 minutes ago, and I was like, shoot, I'm already too late. So I went in and they still had them, surprisingly. And then I guess something happened with my card. It wasn't loaded in. So that took an extra 2 minutes. And by the time that happened, they were long gone. But we'll see. Maybe sometimes you get lucky with getting those Grail pops. So
those don't seem too bad on the resale yet. They were before the second day. Like the first day when they came out, they were pushing $90 a piece. I think last I looked, they were like 30 to 40. So 30 to 40 a piece.
Not terrible.
Yeah,
it's not bad.
Horrible,
but it's just, damn. I could have got it.
I could. Yeah.
Did you happen to get them?
Yeah, I got them.
Yeah,
nice.
I could do without the Luke, but like it'd be really cool to get Leia just because you never thought we'd get a Leia with a lightsaber pop.
Yeah.
So I'd really like to get Leia eventually, and if you have Leia, it sucks. Like you said, it's a sickness. You got to have Luke next to her.
Yeah.
So
that's how the speeder bike thing went when they had the one as the chase and one was. And I was like, okay, I just really just want a speeder bike. I don't need them both. They look the same.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I need them both. This one has eyelashes.
Yeah.
Funny
Funny story about the speeder bike one. I was like first getting into collecting, and I remember I ordered on Amazon. I ordered because I think Luke's the chase, right?
Yeah.
So I ordered Leia on Amazon, and I remember getting the pop. I was expecting the 40th anniversary sticker, the Leia one. I open it, and it's Luke, and I was very early collecting, so I didn't know what a chase was, how that all worked.
Yeah.
I opened, I was like, damn it, I didn't want Luke. I don't want this one. I was like, but maybe I should message Amazon, but I never did. And then, some time went by, and I figured out what it was. I was like, shit, I kind of lucked out, and then I found the Leia one for like $10.
Glad I didn't.
What's up?
Go ahead.
Sorry, Alec, did you say something?
No, I'm just saying you're probably glad you didn't do that.
Oh yeah, I know.
I think that's the same set that I figured out what a chase was.
Really?
Because usually a chase is the same character just with something different, right? You look at different color eyes, different whatever. Mm-hmm. That one was a completely different character, and that's when I realized it. I was like, one per case, got it.
Yep. And I had Luke, like I had Endor. I don't know why I couldn't remember the planet. I had Endor Luke, and I really wanted Leia, so I was like, I was so excited to get Leia on the speeder bike again. I was really early in collecting, and they sent me Luke, and I was just pissed. And then, come to find out, I really lucked out. So it was pretty funny. And then I managed to get the Ewok and the Scout Trooper at some point later. So it's right above this section right here. This is like where my finger is. That's Jabba's palace. Right above that, I have like I have A New Hope, and then on top of the bookcase, that's where I have like the 10-inch Ewok, the regular Ewok, and then the 4 speeder bikes and the the Return of the Jedi type of section.
It's funny, it's similar because I have my Jabba's palace right there, obviously, right?
Yeah, I see that.
In there. And right above, you can't get to them. My 10 inches are on top of that bookcase.
Yeah,
nice.
Wow, that's really, I really like those bookshelves too. Those are nice. A lot better quality than the IKEA Billy bookcase.
Hey, let's not talk about quality. Mine are literally on shelves that go in the garage. They're made of rubber.
It was like $6 though.
They were like $9. So
there you go.
go.
Heck yeah! So before we hop off, is there anything new we can expect from Sarlacc Digest in the near future, or down the road?
Sure, we got a couple things going this Wednesday. Like I said, we go live, and it's you know what? Watch our Instagram to see what time we're going live. We have to get the time in with Daniel, make sure he's going to change it. But like I said, Daniel Jose Older, who was the author of Last Shot, the Solo Lando story. He also was in the Certain Point of View. He handled the Born in the Storm, the Stormtrooper. Did you guys read do you guys read the books?
I read a couple. I was a late bloomer on the book, so I'm trying to catch up. I'm reading Ahsoka right now, but I'm familiar with all the book titles and the authors and stuff.
That was a really cool book. So he rocked that one, and he has a different voice. So I really wanted to have him on. And actually, yesterday he was just named to Time Magazine's. He has his Shadowscape, I believe, is the book, and he's one of the top 100 fantasy stories of all time. So to get him this week, when I know he's high on that, I can't wait to talk to him about that.
No, that'll be really fun.
A couple other things in the works for after December and the new year. We have our Cantina series going on right now. I believe episode 3 is coming on that. What we did on that, so since nobody can go to Disney out here, right? These guys, not me, but all the other 5 guys have passes to go, and they're at Batu every week. Chewie knows Marco, like personally. Like when he sees him, he gets excited and runs after him.
That's funny.
He does, not Marco. Well, Marco probably does too.
That's awesome.
So they all came over to my house one night, and what we did was we took the recipe book with all the drinks. Mm-hmm. We had the wives over and all, and we did 7 different drinks one night.
Yeah, we watched it. That was really cool.
So we're 2 in. We're on episode 3 right now. I think I'm doing Port in the Storm today or tomorrow will come out. So we got that going. Hot topic, like you mentioned, I did one on my favorite Jedi. I've got Attack of the Clones coming up and explaining why does everybody hate Attack of the Clones when I think it's probably got the most cool stuff than any of the other films. There are
It's a
more
real-
reveals and really cool things in that film. The execution was shaky, but everything else is phenomenal. So I have one coming
Hell
on
yeah.
that. And I'm redoing, if you guys heard on there, we pimp out a lot, episode 4 of Hot Topic. It's not a video one, but it's where I go through Luke's art. And I'm going to redo that for video and with the new information and stuff. So that's some of
Nice.
our favorite stuff. We got that, and we do toy reviews, book reviews, and everything else. And yeah, I can't announce the other thing yet, but
No,
officially,
for sure.
we have a convention coming that we were invited to finally. So I should
That's
say
great.
we got some cool
There you
stuff
go.
going. Sarlacc's feeling pretty good. We would just love to get more followers like everybody else.
Yeah,
Just
same.
everybody
same.
listen.
No, we're right there with you. And if before we hop off, you want to tell everybody where they can find you on Apple and all that good stuff.
Sure. His on SoundCloud. We're on there. The Raw Live Unedited Network at .com. Right. You can do that. The RLU is what it
Yep.
was shortened for. We're on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I'm usually the guy you're talking to if you're messaging any of those groups. And also we have a Facebook group, the Sarlacc Digest. I forgot what the name is, but it's Sarlacc Digest, and you'll find it.
Yeah.
So there's a group
definitely.
to join in there. And it's very non-toxic in there. There's a lot of groups that say they're non-toxic. We don't like to argue anymore. If you go into my
Yeah.
earlier episodes or any of our earlier episodes, there's a lot more arguing, and there was a lot more F-bombs being dropped, especially on Hot Topic.
That's funny.
All decided to calm down now. We're all cool. I decided not to argue about
Nice.
Last Jedi much anymore. Because, again,
Good
I like
deal.
it, but everybody else loses.
Same.
Right?
Yeah. That's talk about hot topics. That is for sure one of the hot ones.
Yeah, that'll go in there. And I'm going to also be explaining, nobody understands DJ and Rose. They don't get it. And I like to explain DJ and Rose. So I'll have a whole episode on that, too.
Sounds good. Yeah, we're definitely excited for it. So, well, if after the show, we'll get some of the links from that sent over so we can just put them in the bio. But
Cool.
like always, everybody, definitely give them a follow. They have a lot of awesome content coming out. I personally, I really like the drink episodes. Those are funny.
That looked fun.
It was a
Yes.
blast. The concept was it would be 7 episodes or 8 episodes, but it would be one night. But everybody else would see it as, different episodes.
Yeah.
We'd be drunk as hell by episode 7.
Yeah,
That was the plan.
Exactly.
So-
Exactly. That's funny. So again, Kris, we really appreciate you coming on. Before we hop off, everybody, where you can find us, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everywhere at Carbonite Convos. You can follow me personally at Funko Stud on Instagram, Alec at Wall Crawler Pops. But again, Kris, we really appreciate you coming on, and we're excited to possibly work with Sarlacc Digest again in the future for sure.
So we'll definitely get some things going.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Alec, do you have anything before we hop off?
Nah, man, same as usual. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, drop a comment, hit that subscribe button. And, we'd love to hear from y'all. So
Yes, sir. And also, what is today? The 17th. Just so everybody knows
Yep.
when we're. It's the 17th. My Tampa Bay Rays. I got the Rays Star Wars hat on. We got a big Game 7 tonight against the Houston Astros. So just had to throw in that Rays up really quick. I know we got 29 other franchises really looking for a win out of us. Sorry, Kris, we
Yeah.
missed what you were saying.
Yeah, please beat the Astros. Please
Yep.
beat the Astros.
We're trying. So hopefully by the time this comes out, people won't be listening to this and be like, oh, damn. Hopefully we'll be like, they did it. So again, raise up. And, until the next time we see you guys, may the force be with you.
Remember, the Force will be with you. Always.